Okay, sorry. I'm struggling with my Xbox controller. You know, the constant, you know? The constant. It happens every day. Oh, I hope it detects it. Please detect it. Please don't make me do this again. Okay, there we go. There we go. Hi. I'm alive. Again. We're back to playing Baldur's Gate 3, and it's more or less the same agenda with some minor changes. Number 1, gather the crew. I'm almost done with the bulk of this one, actually. Essentially gathering all the companions. We've gotten almost everyone but Karlach and the secondary companion. That's not counting whatever is in the new update, because I genuinely don't know what's in that yet. Number 2, no saves coming for rerolls or deaths. A complete wipe is one thing, but otherwise things just are what they are, permanently. Number 3, romance at least one party member. This one might actually be the most challenging for me.
I hadn't thought of that. What do you have in mind?
Number 4. This is a new one that I'm adding. No loose ends. All quests for each area will have to be completed in some way, shape, or form. Everything in this playthrough, to my misfortune, will be done to absolute exhaustion. Let's see how these treat me this time. Not very well. We're snooping around the druid's place. I go to read something largely unimportant and unconfidential and accidentally take it. I get into trouble for stealing a piece of paper.
Not again.
I'm gonna read this.
Your light fingers were too heavy.
I didn't mean to take it. I didn't mean to take it. I'll give it back. I'll give it back. I'll give it back. Please, no. It was just a piece of paper. Oh, my Xbox controller's doing it again. Great timing. Oh, thank God. Oh no.
You've convinced them.
It didn't even say steal.
No amount of
I'm so confused.
Will get you out of trouble.
We talked to Nettie. She heals this bird before offering to help us out with our worm. Spoiler, she doesn't actually help us out.
Now what? Drow.
Why do I keep getting this treatment? I don't even look that different from you. She only gives us poison in case we do, in fact, turn into Squidward. She sends us to go find their missing leader, Halsin.
All I can say for sure is they all went to the old temple of Selûne, and Master Halsin didn't make it back. Good luck out there. And if things start to go bad, remember the vial. Remember your oath.
Well, if she's not going to help us, let's just steal her stuff instead. Minimal information is actually acquired from here, surprisingly. Not too much of value. Astarion does somehow get us caught, though. We fail the roll to convince this guy. Ooh, 15. He goes to snitch on us, but we leave before anything happens, and surprisingly, nothing ever comes of this, even when I do go back. But these guys are awfully suspicious, and I plan to keep my eyes peeled for anything that I might find. For now, I opt to help Alfira write her song. This is very easy this run, and comes to my character naturally, since she's also a bard.
Words of mine will turn to ash when you call the last light down. Rest and know that I will pray. Farewell, my dear old friend. Wait, that's it! Until now, I'd forgotten what it was like. That itch in my fingers to perfect a song. The Weeping Dawn will be my gift to her. Thank you. I needed this.
We move on to explore the outskirts of the grove. Immediately, though, we meet with trouble, and this one isn't so easy.
Don't you hear it? It's so peaceful. No, it's just...
Yup, there it is. These harpies are luring in this kid so that they can devour him like an Arby's beef and cheddar sandwich, and we have to go to save him. This fight is always at least somewhat annoying. The harpies have this ability where they can lure you in by singing, and it essentially skips a turn for you. Gale will also repeat the same exact line of dialogue each and every time this happens to him. Or at least it did for me.
I see you now for what you are. Villain, I see you now for what you are. Villain, I see you now for what you are.
This wasn't too bad though. You just need to keep going for the one that's singing and breaking her concentration. This strategy lets the kid get away unscathed, and also obviously reduces the time and or chance that your characters are lured. This kid mentions that Mole sent him here to begin with in order to grab some gold from the nest.
Oh no, she'll be so mad. I didn't get the gold from the nest. I got to go.
That's pretty f***ed up, actually. Let's go take it for ourselves.
Let's see what those harpies were hoarding.
Oh, a lot of stuff. That leaves the area around the grove explored. Let's heal real quick.
Oh. My, you startled me. It's miles away.
Gale is trying to get close to me while I am literally dying right in front of him. It's kind of funny to watch this romantic scene unfold while there's just blood and bruises all over my character's face after we literally got mauled by harpies. But it's one step closer to one of our goals. Still very awkward, and it feels more like the game is nudging me in this direction than it being entirely on my own accord, but, you know, that's the fun of the challenge to me. Just who will we end up with? I don't even know myself.
Follow my lead.
I don't know if I want to
Weave
flirt with
connects
somebody.
you. The moment feels
Oh no!
intimate.
Do I do it? Oh my god, what is this response? Oh, what is this one?
I didn't think.
You perceive quick-fire gusts of embarrassment, trepidation, and finally...
Yeah, I don't want to go right into kissing somebody, okay?
elation.
You know, I thought it was going to be Asterion, Karlach, somebody. Because Asterion was, like, getting into it really quickly. But no, it's Gale, so far. If we get annihilated over here because I stole a couple things, I'm gonna be a little sad. Ooh, hoo hoo. We're about to run more errands before this big dork gets in the way.
Hard to say, for your journey is just beginning.
You are red.
This quaint little scene is decidedly too middle of nowhere for my tastes. The House of Hope, where the tired come to rest and the famished come to feed lavishly. Go on, partake, enjoy your supper. After all, it might just be your last.
Well, I'm here. Might as well take some food. You got mac and cheese?
What's better than a devil you don't know?
Mac and cheese?
A devil you do.
No.
Am I a friend? Potentially. An adversary? Conceivably. But a savior? That's for certain.
Are you done yet? I don't really care.
You ever scare me like that again, and I'll feed you to a knoll.
Mom, I'm fine. Stop it.
We receive a gift from Arabella and her family for saving her. Other than that, there's not really too much in the grove for us now in terms of dialogue, so let's set out to explore. Passing by the Nautiloid, we find these idiots. Don't mind me, I just do not like these guys at all. The moment I obtain these two from their dying brother, I send them on a quest that's basically certain death.
What?
It killed one of us. It killed Edwin. It's an enemy of the Absolute. You're right, sir. The beast must be destroyed.
Asterion must feel the same way because he actually approves of this. We go and fight the owlbear. I'm hoping that we lose both of these guys, but one actually makes it out alive this time. I don't want the goblin camp to have another ally at its disposal when I inevitably destroy it, so I forgo giving her the nearest stronghold option, and instead just tell her to f*** around aimlessly in the woods, fitting end to whatever this is. I take an owlbear egg. Pretty neat. We find a chest of Saluna. Saloon? I don't know. I don't know how to pronounce it, even though the characters literally say it out loud half the time. Shadowheart could not possibly hate this enough.
Selunite prayer, marked with the same symbol as the chest. I'll have to sully my tongue and recite it.
But I make her read the note in order to pass the religion check. The way this thing functions is just so janky. Even if she reads the note, passing the check, I then have to put it in my possession where I have to read it. And then finally, the magic seal on the chest is broken. It's a bit convoluted and tedious in my opinion, and I didn't realize that that's what I had to do initially, but it's a small complaint in a vast sea of fun experiences in an otherwise great game. Oh, roadkill.
The pig's dead, my friend. Staring at it won't bring it back. Come on.
Gee, I wonder who's responsible for this. It's not like he just makes it very obvious or anything.
It's been drained of blood with wounds in its neck. It's been killed by a vampire. I didn't want to say anything because I didn't want to worry you.
Bruh.
Oh, I guess we'll just let that go. Oh, this encounter.
We just want Mayrina back.
Lads, for the love of all that is holy, I've never clapped eyes on your poor sister. You there? Please, I don't know what's come over these boys. I just want to go home.
Oh, neat. The bard gets unique dialogue. I guess I'll use...
She's with the hag!
Oh, I'm essentially forced to commit murder. This lady essentially says, "Oh, and by the way, I actually did kidnap their sister. Don't tell anybody, teehee," before disappearing, and I proceed to feel like absolute... Still though, we have business here. We have a lead on Kaga, and we have to explore it. We head to this little mysterious island located in the bog. What I didn't know is that this leads to combat for which I was severely underleveled. These tree guys here pack a punch, and to add insult to injury, the mud mephits here will endlessly spawn more mephits. If you kill a mephit up close and personal, it'll poop on you, making you slow. This took several tries. After multiple wipes, some switching, some tweaking, and oddly, some full-on untimely character dialogue in camp, I finally got rid of them. My best option here, under my circumstances, with my incredibly weak bard, was to actually go with Gale, Lae'zel, and Shadowheart. Lae'zel being good for picking off the mephits, my bard being used to heal Lae'zel from any poop explosions, and other overall support, while Gale and Shadowheart just repeatedly electrocute the trees in order to take them out as quickly as possible. I shouldn't have ever attempted to use Astarion in this particular fight at all, at this level at least, which is what kept getting me. I'm finally freed from this torment, or so I thought. The trees cast their little vine spells conveniently right where I needed to grab the item that I was looking for, so that was also a tedious process. With that, we are finally done with Butt Sludge Island. Or so I thought. I made the mistake of wanting to explore more of the bog. And what did I say earlier? I'm too underleveled for it. I absolutely should not be here, but my curiosity just got the best of me. I found this weird frog, failed a roll for talking to it, and it absolutely obliterated us, sending us back to Butt Sludge Island, where I had just finished grabbing what I needed. So, instead, I immediately headed to the grove. Let's just handle this quickly. The item in question revealed that Kaga was actually collaborating secretly with the Shadow Druid, and that this was actually the real reason why she was evoking the Rite of Thorns. We confront her about this.
Why are you here? I sent you to Zevlor. What?
The Shadow Druids, unhappy about our snooping, ready themselves to attack us. Somehow, someway, my rolls are very lucky with Kaga. I successfully roll Persuasion twice, convincing her to change her ways mid-confrontation.
When the darkest hour fell, it was us that brought light. Sylvanas demands we illuminate shadow, not hide within it. How was I so blind?
She chooses to aid us in the fight against the Shadow Druids. I'm not entirely lucky, however. This gets a little concerning. I want to actually keep Kaga alive for the story. From my previous confrontation, I don't have any healing magic. She's just absolutely taking every hit from these guys every turn. Nobody else. What makes matters worse is that I aimed Lae'zel at the bear attacking Kaga, but everything was so close together the game thought I was aiming the strike at Kaga. Kaga's health isn't looking so good now. I can't heal her, and as per my rules, if she does die, it is what it is. She'd be permanently dead. She tanks hit after hit. The druids aren't much help until, fortunately, one of the druids finally successfully strikes the final Shadow Druid down. After this encounter, Kaga has fully changed her ways.
Yet I betrayed Sylvanas himself, led the circle to Shadow. We will stop the rite, and I will stand trial.
The Rite of Thorns is cancelled. Zevlor is grateful. However, the tieflings still prepare for their journey out of the grove, leaving the next major course of business to be the goblin camp. I still have things to do first, however. I find a stash of items, do some general looking around, some map exploration. We even find this dog pacing by what seems to be the body of his owner, who's tragically passed away. After calming him down, we show him where our camp is, and we'll see him later. But, if you remember, we still have to gather all of our companions, and I aim to fully conclude the gathering of the main ones in this part. I first talked to the Paladins of Tyr. Much like Will, these guys want the head of a devil named Karlach. Something about these guys is very off, however.
He sent us after an infernal being, straight out of the Nine Hells, hiding in the form of a one-horned tiefling. She slaughtered countless refugees fleeing the Absolute.
We're given instructions on her whereabouts, and she's not very far away at all, just at the rocks below.
One horn. This is the devil Will and the Paladins of Tyr want dead.
I decide to give her a chance to talk first. She explains that these are actually fake paladins. They're instead agents of Zariel, trying to either kill her or take her back. Whatever the case, they really don't want Karlach to be free. Taking in our final major companion, we decide to help Karlach fight these guys. I want to steal their fancy sword anyways. Gale is actually really good here. In a supposed life or death situation, this lady goes to hang out on this sort of balcony outside. There, it's very easy to stealth kill her. This leaves us with only the other two to directly confront, not before stealing whatever I can from this building. You'll see why soon. Because of the smaller number, this fight is actually pretty easy now. You'll want to kill this guy with the sword first, as when he hits, he packs a punch. Then you can easily pick off the other one. After this, we talk with Karlach, who then proceeds to vent her frustration by setting the entire building on fire. I quickly grab this guy's fancy sword and book it. Then we all just kind of chill outside as she does this. When we head back to camp to sort ourselves, confrontation is inevitable. Upon deciding to take a rest, this triggers an argument between Will and Karlach.
One horn, the stink of Avernus, advocatus diaboli.
We'll all be God's damned. The blade of frontiers.
Shut it, devil. I know your kind. A heart darker than a shadow's nightmares. You'd cut a child's throat just to taste the blood.
A devil? I didn't take the blade for a fool.
Via the brainworms that we have, Karlach shows both Will and I the truth. Karlach wasn't actually a willing perpetuator of the Blood War, just forced into it, and she escaped the Hells as soon as she could. After Will finally begrudgingly accepts this, it's all sorted. For now.
You really are no devil, are you? I've been deceived.
Oh, thank the gods. Thought I was gonna have to take your head.
You would have died in the attempt. But there have been enough threats today.
Something is mentioned about a deal, and it doesn't bode well.
Karlach, a hypothetical question for you. If
Up ahead, things are looking pretty bad. The aftermath of a violent scene is strewn about. Broken carriages, blood, and these dogs up ahead. These dogs are in the process of turning into gnolls. Now, I'm lucky. I've played this part before. I know how this goes. This dog that's standing up immediately spends its turns going to get help from the other group of gnolls from the branching path. We don't want that. It's better to do these encounters one at a time. So, with Gale once more, I land a stealth attack on this enemy, picking them off instantly. This triggers the rest of the fight, but that's okay. These gnolls don't alert the other ones. They're meant more to distract you from the dog that otherwise would've. Very easily, we take them all out. I do whatever's necessary after this, healing and other preparation. Then we go address that other group, as I feel we can probably handle it. From what I recall, we want this main gnoll gone, so that's who I primarily go after. The ones with arrows mostly miss, so I seem to be right on that actually. This fight goes pretty well and pretty quickly. So now, the route to the goblin camp is mostly clear. We take our final rest for this part at camp, and I originally aimed to end it around here. However, it's at this moment when we get to meet whoever is responsible for Will's contract. This is Mizora. She's not all too happy that Will didn't kill Karlach, and he still refuses to.
You told me! Devils only! She's a tiefling, not a monster!
How precious. The little pupster's found his bark.
Clause G, Section 9. Target shall be limited to the infernal, the demonic, the heartless, and the soulless.
Karlach meets the criteria by virtue of having no heart.
As punishment for this, Oh. That's it? Cool horns? But he's devastated.
What the hells have you done?
A promise broken, a price paid. You know the terms. Get used to the new form, pet.
I mean, Will, she could have, like, killed you or something, or taken your powers that she gave you away. Something horrible like that. If anything, this is an upgrade. Karlach is grateful that she's been spared. Will is not all too happy with this turn of events. We offer to help him leave his contract. Astarion, not caring about what just transpired at all, wants to talk again, freaky as ever.
I was just thinking about you, and that delicious moment we shared the other night.
Aren't you, like, 200? Well, anyway, for our goals. Number 1, the crew is mostly together now. We only really have our secondary companions left. I still have some uncertainty about the Minthara versus Halsin thing, and I might hold a poll to see which of the two I choose. I like Minthara a lot as a character, but Halsin's role in the story is fairly important around Act 2, so we'll see. Number 2 is always the same and always will be. We didn't save scum on our rolls or any unfavorable outcomes. Everything was done until the end and will continue to be done that way. Number 3, romance. Multiple characters are seemingly warming up to this idea. Gale is mostly in the lead, but we'll see how that turns out. Number 4, we don't want any loose ends. So far, we're cleaning up the map pretty good. I do wonder how long it'll take me, but at the very least, each of these do result in more experience points. Overall, we did a lot in this playthrough. Despite some moments of tedium, it was a lot of fun, and I hope to do more soon. Thank you for watching, I hope you like it, and if you did, I appreciate any likes, feedback, maybe even subscribe if you like my stuff overall, and yeah, I'm gonna play more video games now. Yay!